So welcome to yet another interview on Crave with our special discussions and chats with local musicians during the lockdown. And today we're talking to Henare Ka. Hi, Henare. Or should I just call you H? Kia ora. And Tim Driver. Hi, Tim.
Hello.
Hi. Hey, so I want to say Dillastrate.
Yeah.
Have I got that right?
Bang on.
Cool. You guys put out an album not that long ago, just a month or two back, and we'd love to talk to you about that and also how you're getting on with life in a different sort of environment that we're all in right now. But first of all, Dillastrate, for those, I know you've been around for a while, but for New Zealanders who haven't caught up with you guys, H, where does the name Dillastrate come from?
So Tim and I, Tim actually started a band with a group of friends of ours called the Dillastrators, and we were like the hip hop sort of like jazz soul. We didn't even know what we were. We put on a gig as part of the jazz festival, and then we liked it so much we ended up doing another one. And then afterwards we were like, it's going to be so much easier if it's just the two of us. And floating that whole Dillastrator's name didn't really kind of fly. It didn't have that sort of like, I think Dillastrate has like a cleaner cut to it, like a.
Yep.
Yeah.
Okay.
And and it obviously it reflects our obviously our big background of hip hop, and and it's the way I think of the word that describes us both as a duo.
So there is a guy in the US called Jay Dilla. Is there right? Yeah.
Yeah, so that's a little bit of a hat tip in the name there. So a little, yeah, there we go. Thank you very much. Yeah,
literally.
Yeah, so I think we both spent countless hours jamming along with his stuff as well. So it's a little bit of a we nod.
Okay.
Very nice. So I like that, Tim. I like that hat tip.
Oh, there we go. You can have that.
So listen, I'm just noticing over your shoulders we're seeing an array of instruments here. So Tim, we've got keyboards and sequencer. Am I seeing above it?
That's the one. You're actually seeing two of the bits of kit that we use with Dillastrate regularly on the road. So this is a Korg SV1, just my mainstay keyboard, and then we've got a Akai APC40. So it's an Ableton controller that we use for our live shows. Since it's just the two of us, we like to do a lot of looping on stage, which builds out the sound, and and also too it lets us switch things up on the fly, so we can go off on tangents, which
Excellent.
we like to do as well.
That's very Ed Sheeran of you.
Oh, thank you very much. It's I don't know. I think with just two musicians, like I say, it's a different aesthetic to a full live band. So you want to try and get as much of a large sound as you can. So we're always thinking about ways that we can do that. And also too, between us we have a very short attention span. So if we want to change things on the fly on stage, we will and do.
Fair enough.
So that was part of what the APC is used for.
That makes sense. And that's an electronic drum kit I see over your shoulder there, H?
Yeah, I've been up here most of the day practicing. So yeah, nothing really much else to do once work's finished.
What is work for you at the moment?
I'm a high school teacher.
Oh dear. Yeah. I am so sorry, sir. What subject do you teach?
Definitely not science. I'm a music man.
Oh, good man.
Yeah.
Oh wow, you're in the right. You're okay. So it's not a huge stretch to go from that to doing your own stuff. That's great. Cool.
No, it flows really nicely.
Yeah.
So I mean, musically, how are you occupying yourself in these difficult and troubling times?
Well, with basically me, I'm taking it as an opportunity to start really shedding on the keys. So, getting the hours in terms of practice, making sure I'm keeping my hands going, because a lot of the time being busy working individuals and musicians, working with, lots of other bands, not just Dillastrate, often our practice time is when we're playing shows.
Yeah.
Right.
So it's, and with Dillastrate as well, that's where we really get the practice in. So I'm hoping to do a little bit more practice over the break, do a little bit of songwriting as well, because we had a few shows lined up that we were going to be playing. So we're trying to take the opportunity to write some songs while we're at it. So working on that too.
How does the songwriting side of things go for you two guys? H? Does one tend to focus more on lyric and one more on music, or is it really very?
We kind of have our we kind of write separately, and then we bring it all together, and then we write together.
Yeah,
so it's interesting.
Okay.
Well, it's kind of interesting. I think like this is part of what I love about this band. Like, I think this band has spoiled me for a lot of other bands in this way that me and H have qualities that complement each other quite well. So I'm, a bit more of a jazz nerd. So I like getting into my chords, my interesting chord progressions and my little technical things. Whereas H is a little bit more direct than me. So he'll just go straight down the line and say, no, it's this. And I think the combination of those approaches when we're writing songs is what I love about this band.
And H, you're the main vocalist, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and you've got a really, I don't know, I was going to use the word smoky.
Smoky. Yeah, it is very smoky on that album.
Voice.
We've got a. It was interesting, some of the vocal takes on that album. It was definitely some new ones for me. Well, if you watch any of the live stuff on YouTube, especially of our New Year's concert, it's completely different. Oh yeah, it was. I definitely tip my hat to my producer for showing me the difference between singing on stage and singing in the studio.
Okay.
You know? So
it does seem like you're using at least a couple of different types of voices on the album. Sometimes it's quite low. Sometimes you're going up a bit higher. Is that all part of what you're trying to experiment with?
Yeah.
And can I just ask you about one part of one song? At the end of Heroin, there's a really, I'm not sure it's your voice or someone else's, that kicks in with a kind of a beautiful high, taking it up on a higher range little piece right at the end. Who's that?
Yeah, that's me.
Wow.
So Tim does the good chunk of the song, and then I come in with that girl part, whatever the words are.
I was just going to say, can I have some more? Just more of that. That was really good.
Yeah, that was phenomenal as well. 'Cause that's full voice too. I didn't realize that, but H told me after the fact that I've just said that in full voice. It's quite impressive.
It was very impressive. Very impressive. Wow. What do your students say when they hear the songs, H?
What's heroin? They I don't know. Some compliments, some just go, no, that's just Mr. Carr. So, majority of them enjoy it. A majority of them enjoy it.
Cool.
But I mean, to be fair, we've got a long history of songs titled after drugs. Surely, I mean, it shouldn't be anything new. I mean, start them on Sister Morphine and work from there.
Just staging it.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
Yeah.
Exactly. Classical education for them. That's what we need. So how's the songwriting going at the moment? Given that you're obviously not in the same bubble as far as we can tell. So I mean, obviously jamming's out the window, I guess.
Yes, we've so H tried that with our producer over the internet, and that was just a bit of a challenge, would you say?
Yes.
Obviously a very slight lag in any digital communications means that you're always sort of half a beat out. I don't know. I mean, from my perspective, I'm writing as many bits and pieces as I can. I'm sure I know H is doing the same thing. And then at some point, when we're able to get back together again, we'll bring all of those pieces together and see what works. So it's almost like fitting a jigsaw together.
Right.
Yeah.
Cool. And when we do get to see you out on stage, I know you've been playing live for a long time now. Do you ever bring other musicians in? Would you often, or is it just you do to fill out the presence on stage?
Depending where it is, it's like, so obviously in Canterbury and in the South Island, it's easy, and it's like you the possibility to be more mobile with other musicians. So we're very fortunate to feature a young musician. Young lady from Christchurch with Emily Browning. She's she's an absolute beast, and we're lucky to take her. If there's a show in Canterbury, we use her. We've used other girls because most of the album there's a lot of female presence. So it's good to then have the ability to call on musicians to jump up and jam live.
Well, that's the other thing, playing in a duo which is essentially two males. It's always
it
nice
makes it way better to look at.
If you say so.
Everyone looks up and sees us and goes, oh.
Hey, we were talking about what we could see in the backdrop behind you two guys. Steve was asking about that before, and we just have to ask you. There's a T-shirt or a banner which has got some letters up there. Looks suspiciously like ADHD.
Yes.
Would you care to comment, sir?
Would this be reference to all of your students, perhaps?
No, this is reference to me.
Fair enough.
Yeah. Well, I don't know. Tim, what do you think?
Yeah. So in Dillastrate, we have a nickname for H, which is the squirrel. You know, and this is what I was talking about earlier in the interview about our collective short attention spans. We like to mix things up on the stage. And you see there's a little bit of text under that T-shirt that says ADHD, and it's highway to hey, look, a squirrel. So that's just a wee nod to H's role in the band there, and to, you know,
No, self-awareness is a very important thing.
That's it. Exactly right.
Yeah. Well, it's the best thing that you think about it, it's like you don't have to put on a stage persona. You just
You've already got one.
Yeah. You've already got one.
Yeah. And plus, you're probably connecting with many, many more people than we might realise, I suspect, as well. So that's cool.
That's exactly it.
Yeah.
So what can we expect from you guys next? Obviously, you'll be working on your Lockdown Tapes album, whatever it's going to be called.
Like the Basement Tapes, yeah.
Yeah, there you go. I mean, your debut album came out very, very recently. Is this going to be an opportunity to follow it up, like, you know, within months, or what kind of time frame are we talking here?
It's a great question. We're not entirely sure ourselves at this point in terms of our recording, and, you know, because everything's so uncertain. Obviously, we'll go with whatever happens and roll with it. And that's part of the benefit of being a two-piece band, really, is we can sort of weather those hits a little bit more. But ideally, we'd like to be getting out and playing as many live shows as we can. But the recording process, we're going to take whatever we've got at the moment and then put it down on the table and say, what have we got here? Can we do a little EP or an album or something like that at some point? So taking it as it comes at the moment, really.
Cool. And we can't end without asking a question that is written in the publicity for you guys, and I'm sure you've been asked this question a bit, but just for our audience, I think it was UH who not so long ago was in London and happened to spend some time with a certain member of the Rolling Stones. Can you just tell us a bit about that?
We're in the presence of greatness, Simon. We really are.
So a friend of mine who I met touring when he was touring New Zealand, this guy named Ben Waters. He's like he's the boogie woogie pianist from the UK, and he's been to New Zealand 4 or 5 times, and I've done the tour with him. And a few years back, he brought 2 other members of the Rolling Stones with him, a guy called Bernard Fowler and another saxophone player called Tim Reese, who've been on the Stones, or been touring with Stones about 25 years. And he held his retirement gig last November in the UK and invited a heap of us from all different places around the world. Me, another guy from Wellington, a couple from Australia, and we did it. We did the tribute to Ronnie, and he was real complimentary. It was great. Not very often you get to see guys like that in the flesh.
And you were actually singing to him, right?
Yeah.
What did you sing?
I did Little Red Rooster.
Oh, nice.
Outstanding.
A classic. Fantastic.
Are there recordings of this available? Because I think we need to see them.
Yes. They're on Instagram.
Oh.
And they're on they're on a few places.
We'll have
to put a link on our page, Steve.
Most assuredly. I mean, this is the closest I've ever actually been to a Rolling Stone. I feel honoured.
Oh, that's lovely.
He was a real nice guy. He was quite funny, very funny man.
Was it? Yeah. Cool.
Yeah.
Cool. Yeah. But anyway, enough about the Rolling Stones. This is about Dillastrate.
Yeah, come on, guys.
Let's be professional here. Yeah.
That's right.
Yes. Sorry, Tim. Which other band should we talk about? I mean, I suppose one of the obvious questions that, if we were professional interviewers, we would have asked you by now is about your influences, but we've not gone there yet, so.
Okay.
Because I'm trying to figure out. I have been trying to figure out who I'm hearing in this album, and there's nothing specific I can put my finger on. Who are you channeling?
I hate this so much. So the genre is called neo soul pop. So like that mixture between D'Angelo, some hip hop, and electronic pop with a hint of Stevie Wonder in there. Oh boy.
Okay, yeah.
Yeah, there's definitely a collective, love of ours is soul music generally.
Yeah.
So there's hopefully you're hearing a lot of soul music on the album because that was what we tried to inject in there.
That's strong in there, yeah.
Oh, that's good. But yeah, it's sort of, that was a big part of this album for us, is that it kind of feels like we've taken all of our influences from over the years and just mashed it into one album. Yeah. And that's what I love about this album, is that, we were able to express all that stuff quite freely.
Cool. Yeah, I think H's voice seems particularly suited to the soul genre, would be my observation. And if you want to go back to that all-out belting it out thing that you did at the end of Heroin, H, bring it on, I say.
No worries.
Hopefully your voice will hold up to that.
We want to see that on...
she's good. She's all good.
Okay. As soon as we escape lockdown, we want to see that on stage, mate.
What's that, sorry?
I say, as soon as we escape lockdown, we want to hear that on stage.
Oh, don't you worry, it will be. Well, we were planning on doing it at a show in May for the Jazz Festival, but...
Damn.
Yeah, not going to happen.
No, haven't. But it's been postponed. November.
Okay, we'll wait. Cool.
Sounds good.
Fantastic. Hey, well, thank you very, very much for talking to us. I really appreciate you guys giving us some time.
Thanks for having me.
Lockdown goes well, and it's creative for you guys. And when the time comes, look forward to seeing you on stage. Thanks very much.
Thank you so much, guys.
Thank you so much, guys. You're awesome.
Thank you.
Cheers.
Sure.